What's it like working though next to Vince McMahon? Because again, you're there, you're saying these things that maybe he's not prepared for, but yet you're live on air, sometimes tape, but yet you are there live doing this. He can't just say, "Hey, don't say that," because you've already said it. Like you can't edit something out that's
Yeah.
live.
He never gave me any crap about it. He never, I never got scolded. I was never told not to do something or not to say something, or if I said something that he didn't particularly care for, there was never any, admonishment for it. He was, you know, he really believed in letting me do what I did, and I think he just kind of hoped that eventually I would catch on. And I started to, when it became apparent that I was not popular, I tried to think about how I can make myself, turn myself into a heel, if that would help, you know. Of course, I didn't know what a heel was prior to working for the WWF, but I started gaining all this knowledge once I was there. Um, and I think Vince thought that the best way of approaching it would just be to like make sure I was being humiliated at every chance. So that's when, I said I was going to be Elvis one week just to do something different, and got this, unbelievable Elvis wig and the glasses and the jacket, and that was the week that Vince decided I was going to get a pie in the face from Doink the Clown, and so I spent 3/4 of the show with shaving cream all over my face. Um, but that worked. I think the humiliation part I think really worked. It was good. People seem to enjoy it. But what's funny is that in retrospect now, I get these invitations from guys like yourself who do these wrestling podcasts, and there is no greater fan than a wrestling fan. I mean, you guys could not be more loyal or fervent in your admiration for this form of sporting entertainment. And it's almost like in retrospect, people are like, I don't know if they got it. I don't know if they changed their minds about what I was at the time, but I think they kind of like the idea that I own up to the fact that I was, you know, a fish out of water, behind the desk.
Yeah.
And so I'm enjoying this kind of like a, wrestling renaissance of my my 13 weeks with the
Your love.
WWF.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
you brought it up earlier. You're saying, oh, you're on the top 10 list of worst commentary. No, the thing is, though, you were aware of what you were there to do. There are some people who showed up there who are trying to be like as serious as possible and doing the job that like Michael Cole now does perfectly. Like they were trying to deliver the stories, the pay-per-views, get these dates in, talk about hunger. You said Headlock for Hunger is what they used to call their charity events. So all these things, but you were there doing your bits. Some people who were trying as hard as they could kept screwing up over and over. You didn't screw up over and over. That's the thing. So I don't want you to ever to think that you're on a top 10 list of the worst. You're definitely on a good list of if the top 10 worst, you're 10. Okay, you're not 1, you're 10.
You're very kind. You're very, very kind. I thought there were a couple of people worse than me. I don't want to, name any names.
I got to name plenty, but I'm not going to either. We don't have to do that here, but honestly, I think what you were there to do is what you were there to do, and you did it perfectly. But again, you mentioned working with next to Vince McMahon, Macho Man. You said he was so open to you working with him, but then you also said you weren't. You said you weren't feeling very popular. Were there people backstage? Because I know it's very protective of letting in outsiders into the world that they live in.
No, they could not. No one could be more welcoming than they were. I didn't get anything. I mean, I got teased. Razor Ramon used to break my chaps all the time. The Steiner brothers, I remember one of them sat on my lap and the other one pinched my Adam's apple, to the point where I thought I was going to pass out. But it was all in good fun. There was never anything mean spirited or nasty or went out of their way to make me feel bad. Like I said, if anything, they were really kind. I mean, Nature Boy. I mean, Ric Flair was, again, called me sir. It was like, these legends were very, very kind, very kind, very, very together, very, I think Sensational Sherry, made a pass at me after the show.
Well, who wouldn't? Who wouldn't? Let's be honest. Even Yokozuna might. I don't know. Maybe. If he sat on you like the Steiner brothers did, I don't think you'd have legs, but that's just an observation.
No.
That's an observation.